And not a huge surprise, I guess, as DeMario leads the way.
Yeah, and he's comfortable right now with Bodie Page and Sam Drain there on the front row. Chase Black, Cody Kopp, Carson King will be on row number 2. Back to row 3, we have Solly Mervis, Derek Sanchez, Rossi Garcia, Hank Fosberg, Ella Dreyer, and Correa on row number 4. And then we have Betancourt, Smith, and Fraley on row 5. They had all kinds of weather conditions yesterday, Greg. The first session, they went out on a wet track. Second session, it started to go wet to dry. And then
waiting for those red lights to go on and revs to go up. Here we go. It's time to get racing. Behind the bubble, we're gone. And now it's a huge uphill battle. These 50 horsepower motorcycles head up to turn number 1.
And DeMario on the red 27 has been the guy that has set the pace. So I think that the big thing that I'm sure the field has sorted out is they got to get ahead of him early. Drain gets a good start up the inside initially. DeMario makes the cutback though, Greg, and this is what these guys don't want to see.
And have DeMario close, and right now he's doing what he needs to do in terms of just breaking any draft, the possibility of that draft.
Yeah, you see the 40 just runs up. That's Correa. He runs up the inside. You see a pack of 5 riders trying to chase down DeMario, but the break has been made at the front for the 27. He's done a good job of getting himself out front and getting away from this big group of 5 riders. I figured, Greg, we'd have a little bit more as far as the people in this group. The second group looked like it was going to be more like 8 or 9 riders, so we'll see how that starts to pan itself out.
All right, so here goes Alessandro DeMario. It's a Warhorse Ducati American racing team. That's part of that Warhorse HSBK Ducati racing effort. Well, the one thing that Kramer did is they came here and tested, so when we got here, at least there was an idea of gearing, but with the limited track time in terms of dry track time that we've had, a lot of these riders still trying to figure it out, and you can hear a couple of bikes bouncing off the rev limiter before they get to the final corner onto the front straightaway. So our first lap from a dead stop is in, and 1.3 seconds the advantage coming across the stripe for DeMario. And so it's good to see Estenson Racing, who continues in American flat track racing, but they're going to be supporting this flat tracker turned road racer from Forbes, Australia, Sam Drain.
Oh, look at the move by Rossi as he runs up the inside of Drain there, right at the tail end of these S's. It's a great move. So the 30 definitely on the move right now, now he's going to try to get his head down and catch up to Bodie Page, who's put some distance on this group battling for third.
Rossi Garcia out of Texas, San Marcos Iron Doors 316 Rossi Motorsports.
Drain repays the favor, Greg, as they go down into turn 11. That's going to probably hurt his exit just a little bit. You can see that the 30 of Rossi turns back up underneath him there. So Rossi Garcia trying to get in this fight. Now he's going to get in the draft of Drain. And just behind them, you see Cody Kopp back there and Correa back there as well. Correa looks like he's trying to get in the draft of these guys.
This is the first of 14 races for 2025 in the MotoAmerica Championship. And so this is a big one here at MotoGP weekend. It's a Road to MotoGP class as well, this Talent Cup, as Cody Kopp, the 3-time American Flat Track single champion, getting after it here in road racing.
Yeah, for Cody, this is all brand new, isn't it, Greg? I mean, it is literally all brand new for him, being on a road race bike. We spoke to Kenny Roberts yesterday, and he was talking about how they just kind of thrown him into the deep end, as now the 22 has got himself, that's Ella Dreyer.
At the test a week ago, second fastest, only a half a second off our fastest rider. Oh, and we have somebody down.
Looks like, is it the 20?
Could possibly be.
I think it's Layden. I think it's Layden Smith.
Yeah,
I believe. So, you know, they're going to be used to that aspect of road racing. The rest of it's going to be a little trial by error. And like I said earlier, we saw Cody make a small mistake as these guys now are getting really racy down into turn 12. Drain holds them off. The 30 of Rossi Garcia doing a nice job. This continues with this big group along with Sanchez and Ella Dreyer just sitting down the back of them right now.
So Drain, who was third overall in the Crescent Test a week ago, now comes under fire, but it's about that drive out of the corner. Is the 31 going to be able to hold it? Drain trying to go around the outside. They're side by side, so Drain will get that position back.
Yeah, and he's done a nice job. And, you know, Greg, we've talked about the size of Cody Kopp, and, you know, there's so many are smaller in stature, and you can see Drain fits on this bike really well because he easily gets into the bubbles. He runs a little bit wide. Yep, saw him get in there and run himself just a little bit wide there. So the 31 sneaks back through. That's Hank Fosberg now, who's taken over that third place spot. But this is the kind of battle here, Greg, that you can see just going down to the end. And for Ella, look, she's pulling up alongside the 40 now.
Ella Dreyer on the 22, right part of your screen, getting after it. We saw this rider loves passing people on the brakes, but just got hung out there, and so it looks like Dreyer's going to be on the back of this. She goes up underneath. Doesn't quite get that done for the moment, but still in the mix for this final podium spot. We were told that he has a track limits warning, so if he goes off track again in that section where he ran wide, that's going to be a 2-second penalty, so Drain's got to keep it nice and tight.
He ran wide a little bit on the exit of, I believe it was turn 19. Just made a mistake and got in there a little bit fast. You see these two guys now, they're starting to race it up pretty hard, the 40 and the 59. They're going at each other, Greg, and for Correa and Drain, they've let Vosberg just kind of get away now, and that's the risk that you run. As you see Dreyer, I'm sorry, yeah, you see, she's up underneath Drain now. She's going to be able to try to draft those two bikes in front of her. She's going to have Correa and Drain as possible people that she can draft past. But for Vosberg, this is great seeing these five kind of battle amongst each other.
In the draft, they go down what would seemingly be a very long back straightaway for these 50 horsepower motorcycles, but the 31 Vosberg starting to make a little bit of a break. Ella Dreyer looks like she's been shuffled back a little bit, going to go around the outside to try to hold on to that 5th position. This is the battle for 3rd between Vosberg 31, Drain is on the 59, Dreyer's on the 22, Correa's on the 40, and Sanchez on the 23. They're in the 29s and the 30s of the riders that we're looking at. So now still a 6.3 second advantage for Page over this group.
And Garcia just gets shot out of the seat just a little bit there, didn't he, on this exit of turn 11, trying to get on the gas early on these bikes to try to utilize the draft down the back straight. So he lost a little bit of time there.
You saw for a moment the 65 of Page up ahead of this group as they make their way off the back straightaway. Dreyer now starting to lose touch with these three in her own little battle. Yeah, boy, it was up the run up the front. Oh, and
23 just gets out just a little bit wide there, Greg.
Yeah, didn't know if she was forced out wide.
Yep, Derek Sanchez just got out on that. He just got out there a little bit wide. That's going to give Ella a straight shot to the, try to catch back up to the 40 there. Yep, he's done a good job of always being able to find his way back to this 3rd place spot. So now he's going to be in the last lap battle. Here, as you see Vosberg doing a really nice job. Vosberg thought about going down the inside there. He's probably going to be better off maybe just trying to draft Drain on the back straightaway. But, you know, Drain's stature, he looks very small. He's tiny. You know, I saw him yesterday, and that's another good reason, another great thing for him to be able to pull up to the back of Vosberg. So, yeah, he closes that door. So, good for Drain closing that door as they come into turn 11, sorry.
A little wide.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt him too bad, though.
So there's a look at DeMario, your leader. And you can see the gap back to Page as DeMario on this final lap has done what we thought he was going to do at one of his favorite circuits where he clinched the SC Project Twin Cup Championship in MotoAmerica last year. And then Bodie Page out in 2nd place on a lonely run. And then this final battle for the last spot on the podium between the 31 and the 59.
Where he's going to make this move is DeMario comes into the last corner on his final lap.
Well, he's been the talk of the town on his Warhorse Ducati American Racing machine, and he gets it done in fine style. Alessandro DeMario to the stripe, takes a checkered flag, and the inaugural win of the Parts Unlimited Talent Cup by Motul. In 2nd place, here comes the 65 of Bodie Page, gets it done on a CTR D&D Cycles, and this final run to the podium, and it looks like it's going to be Sam Drain on Estenson Racing. He gets it done in that final corner. And that's going to be your inaugural podium, DeMario, Page, and Drain. All right, so the very first race of the Parts Unlimited Talent Cup by Motul ever done and dusted. DeMario with a 9.4 second lead, a win over Page, Drain, Vosberg, Correa,
1 second.
Rossi Garcia, Dreyer in 7th, and Sanchez rounding out your top 8. Mervis in there as well. Jay, I think the thing to talk about too is we have a big cluster there, 3rd to 7th, that we're all running around the